Oh, that looks pretty good. Testes, 1, 2, 3. Ian, say something.
Boo.
Sentence.
Oh, John doesn't get to celebrate his birthday ever again.
Fair.
You know, sucks for you. But seriously, congratulations on getting old without dying.
That fucking sound is so good. Oh, it sounds so good. I'm excited. Okay. I'm learning how to stream over the course of, we've been playing since what, February or March? Something ridiculous. And I'm just now getting, I think I've got to go in and fix my border though, because it looks pretty chunky in this, this resolution. But okay. All right. We are streaming, kids. Okay. So Drung explains to you in a Drungian fashion that he saw one of the bird people at the lake come to a rock, and disappear. And he tried to look for anything around there, but couldn't find him.
Okay.
And I've got investigation checks. Okay, so as you're kind of, granting what Drung has said, you kind of go around, start looking around in this area. And what you eventually find is that at each of the cardinal directions on this rock mound, which I would say is probably about, if it had a diameter, it'd be about 20 feet, maybe 30 feet in diameter. And it's probably about 20 feet high, but it's flat on its top, and it's just kind of like a rocky outcropping near the shore. But what you find is that on each of the cardinal directions, or what you presume would be that, in kind of equidistant locations at each side of it, you find a flat rock. And the reason why this flat rock is interesting to you is because after inspecting it for a short duration, you notice that it has similar qualities in kind to the flat circular disc platforms where the glyphs would be etched to open secret doors for the Fellhoods, the Crimson Eyes.
Okay.
This flat rock here looks a bit interesting. I know I think it might be some sort of magical glyph where when the proper design is traced upon it, it gains you access to what's inside.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I could try a glyph that I know of, but I'm not confident that it will work, but it's worth a try.
Should I try to make an Arcana check to see if I could figure it out?
Yeah, you can attempt that. Again, not knowing much about them. Actually, you went through their dungeon before. Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Whoa.
So you remember seeing a certain pattern back at the last place that you raided? Specifically, a small, just insignificant little mark that was near the numbers on the keys. Something you didn't think of before, but now that he's mentioning that there's this kind of glyph that denotes them, you kind of start thinking more focusedly, with a bit more focus rather, on that shape. When Pocket starts to kind of describe the shape that he's mentioning, the two sound very different.
Okay. So say, Drunk, try yours first, and I'll try the one by the what you call it, basement after.
Okay. So Pockets, if you want to give that a try, you can go ahead and try yours if you'd like.
I try mine.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a glyph that activates. It doesn't really trace out on it at all. It seems the starting point of your glyph is different than what would be the starting point for the glyph that this one requires.
Yeah, it doesn't appear as if the glyph I know works. If go ahead and try the one you have in mind.
Okay. I traced out the one we saw at the basement.
Okay. You managed to trace it out well enough. And sure enough, the glyph does glow from start to finish as you trace it out. Upon finishing, it seems that the rocks, kind of at about knee height, maybe a little higher than knee height, start to kind of move away, as does some of the sand and kind of stone at your feet. This creates what you see down into as a staircase, and the staircase kind of leads in and kind of curves inwards into the stone formation. Your presumption is that there are 3 other doors like this. All of them seem to spiral into the rock formation. Does that make sense?
So wait, this one location has 3 staircases, or there's
4.
3 locations like this one?
There are 4 staircases around this 40-foot diameter rock mound, and your presumption is based on what you've seen from this first opening, is that the staircase kind of spirals down and inwards into the underneath the stone mound. Your presumption is that all 4 will probably do likewise.
Got it.
Think of it like a whisk, and at the top of the whisk there's this big plop of cake, which is the mound.
Mm.
I love cake. I love whisks with cake stuff on them too, like
Batter.
Cookie dough. Beer batter.
All right. So Varn, this entrance, Eli mainly being Melek being the main one who did it. Is there anything that you would like to do since you've been kind of quiet thus far?
I'd like my wife to come take my baby.
I would like Chris Edwards to show up.
So we all have things that we want to happen, but
Right.
I guess I will gesture the party to go first because, well, they're less squishy than I am.
Okay, so there's the entrance that's closest to the water, then there's the entrance that's opposite of that one, and then there are the 2 entrances on the sides. We're going to call the entrance that's closest to the water north, the one opposite south, and then of course west and east. What I need to know from you guys is which entrance would you like to, the one that you opened to start with would be the north one. So I'd like to, do you want to just go with the one you started with, or do you want to attempt to seal this one off and go and investigate a different one? Go down a different one first.
I'm very happy trying this one first. I don't have any information to say it's not good.
So
Fair.
from my initial investigation, I have the sense that there are we know there's 4 entrances.
Correct. And your presumption is that they're all pretty much the same.
Okay.
Well, maybe if we could try to block off the other entrances so the little birdies can't fly away once we make our descent.
Quick question. The Mardigans really don't like these people, right?
Say it
Correct.
again.
The Mardigans hate these people. That is correct.
And Pockets is kind of in with the Mardigans, right?
Also true.
Can we get Pockets to go grab a couple Mardigans to watch the door?
So he would know that this is an isolated job. The only person he might be able to kind of requisition, because they don't want to draw too much attention to one point in town, it would be what's his name? Strom, right?
Better than nothing. And I don't want to start construction here.
Right. That's exactly why they wouldn't have like a whole entourage. What Strom says to you, if you kind of pursue him just shortly thereafter, he wouldn't be too far from here because if you remember correctly, it's not too far from the Delver.
Yeah.
He would say, That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and just sit outside the Delver out here on one of these benches, and I'll just watch the mound. If I see anything coming up towards the mound, I'll try and cause a distraction. And if I see anything come out of the mound, I'll rally up Patrick and friends, and we'll see if we can't cut them off.
Thank you, Strum. Very, very much obliged.
No problem. Just make sure you understand that you know the required amount.
And that is outstanding as well. Yes.
All right. Okay, so back to the question at hand. There are 4 entrances: north, south, east, west. Which one would you like to go down?
Anyone have an issue going north?
Nope.
Okay, so the north entrance, you start to descend down it, and you notice that the stair spiral is kind of steep. So for everyone but the dwarf, you're kind of keeping your head low, and the thing that you're seeing right in front of you is just ceiling. And your steps are, very kind of guarded in that you're trying to make sure that you're not falling down these pretty high steps that you're coming down. Pockets, are you in the lead?
Yeah, I'll go first.
So it's about a 10-foot wide, stepway. So you're not having any problems sideways and such, but you do get a kind of claustrophobic, except for the dwarf, of course, a claustrophobic feel in that you are kind of keeping your head low. As you continue down, stealthily as you can be, you notice that right in front of you, right at the base of the steps, are 2 very large, burly men. It looks like they're in kind of gladiatorial armor with like very loose kind of iron or steel bits kind of about them, strange looking helmets that are almost fish-like, and they appear to have large weapons in hand, and they're staring blankly just off and about at the world.
I hold up my hand to sort of halt progress, and I try to silently motion if someone can peek around me at these things so that they can give input on what they might be. But I'm trying to do this as well as possible with hand signals.
Okay. Well, again, because of the nature of the ceiling, you kind of are seeing them, and they are seeing you, and they do have kind of a strange look to them. It doesn't look like they're alert. I guess the best way to describe it is actually you were in Mylon's castle, yeah?
Yes.
Guys, hold on 1 second. Wifey's here. I'll be back in a minute or 2.
You would see that they have kind of the same dead look that the ones who wore the crowns have in their eyes.
Oh, okay.
So I shouldn't scare them again.
Vaughn.
Oh gosh, what would I do? Being a little off my game because Varn talking about whatever harms Sultan.
Vaughn, it looks like they're wearing these crowns that make them do things they don't want to do, but doesn't mean they won't be any fiercer in a fight. What would you say we proceed?
Take them down.
Right, and then I go to attack whichever one, I don't know, the left one with Selena Stiletto.
You come down the stairs with your shield kind of close to your chest and your dagger out, ready to kind of stab underneath the shield into this guy's gut. But as you're kind of moving forward towards him, both of their eyes are kind of looking at you and just kind of watching you as you do it. And the one on the left is kind of holding his hand out, still in kind of like a defensive posture, but it looks like he's holding his hand out to you. You still move in to stab? So when I say hold his hand out, not so much like he's trying to shake your hand or stop you or something. He's holding it as if he's supposed to receive something.
A high five?
It would be just a 5 because he's got it like it's like cupped and like in reception, like he's ready to receive something in his hand.
Did anyone grab the keys from the last place?
I want to make a quick roll with my intelligence, and if it's higher than a 10, I might try giving him what little money I have left. Okay. I take out. What do I actually have in money still? I take out a silver piece and place it, like oddly, like abruptly stop and
Maybe we can just pay them to pass.
and I take a silver piece and put it in his hand.
The second the coin hits his hand, he kind of looks at his hand with dead eyes and kind of looks back up at you. And as he does so, his mouth stretches open. You can hear clicking and kind of breaking as his jaw extends wider than a human should. And he starts screaming. You can hear up the stairs, it echoing behind you and back down into where you're at. So in response to him starting to scream, I presume there's going to be a stabbing.
Yes.
Okay. So that said, what I will allow for you is when you roll initiative, I'm going to modify your initiative set to kind of just make it so that you're a little bit higher based on that, your readiness. I don't want to do advantage for that. But they both kind of brandish these weapons, which look like sick axes on like large shafts, not a halberd, not a just a great axe basically. Okay, I'm gonna do drung, but I've got the I'm gonna pull you guys in now. There's gonna be some of you that will see nothing but blank, just stone for all that you can see because you're up the stairs a bit. And you cannot see down because of the nature of the angle. Okay. But you should be able to select your token. You should be able to roll initiative.
Alright.
Let's draw. Oh, why did. Never mind. Go ahead and roll your own initiative. I selected the wrong token. Okay, we'll wait a couple seconds here because we don't have 2 players.
Mm-hmm. I like how I'm getting a bonus to my initiative and I rolled terribly, so I'll still probably go second to last.
It's a substantial bonus.
Oh, okay. I patiently await what this might be.
Well, you rolled really bad. I'm sorry. It's just a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still going to go first, it looks like, unless Mel can roll higher. Melik. And as I said, we're waiting on 2 players, so we're not going to rush too far ahead.
Oh, sorry.
It may look like you already have an initiative, but that's because I'm stupid.
Okay. Wife and kid are gone, so
Let's do this. Curse, 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 curse words.
pretty much.
But yeah, you should be in the top left corner, select your token, roll that initiative. And as I was saying before, you are seeing all stone, nothing besides all stone, because you're actually technically outside up the stairs a bit. And as I said, because of the nature of the stone, the nature of the steps, rather, you cannot see them because of the steep angle of the steps. Wow, it's really good compared to everyone else. So you're first. You would know that descending down the steps into Pocket's space would take you 15 feet of movement because of the way you've been moving, and to jump back up into your square would take to where you're at would take 15 feet of movement. If you just want to peek, you'll have to move into his space and then back away.
Okay. I have 30 feet of movement, so I'll go to where he is so I could see what's going on. I could always back out later.
So when you back in, you realize that you're standing in Pocket Square, and retreat would signal towards these creatures possible repercussions.
And I'm currently in Pocket's spot.
Correct. You're standing on top of him. That's correct.
Okay, then. I'm going to take the disengage action and back out.
Okay. Back to your blindness.
But before I go I actually fully back out, I decide to give some words of inspiration to Pockets. I tell him how beautiful he looks today.
The tiefling bard steps down, looks at the big axe that's now about ready to swing, looks at Pockets and says, "Man, you look great. You got this. Bye." All right. Then the Barbarans will go. They look like, they look like kind of just gladiatorial fighters with these big axes. They're both going to be very reckless in this current stage. What you see, though, Pockets and Drung, you would see that they kind of bite down on their teeth and kind of grit, but you can see this kind of white liquid or foam kind of drooling out the sides of their mouth, and it looks like there's kind of a purple froth inside of the actual like on the tongue and in the base of the mouth. It looks like they kind of bit down on something, and it's now kind of filling their mouth. The purple color of it is familiar to you, by the way.
Liquid pain?
It would seem. So for these attacks, they have advantage.
Good thing you're inspired.
That'd be against you, Pockets. Does an 18 hit?
Yes.
Takes 14 slashing damage. And then the other one will also swing. And that'll hit Drung, I believe. Yep. He'll take 12. Okay. Not terribly happy with that. You do notice that they are swinging wildly, though, and it looks like most of their armor is only on one side of their body. And with their wild, reckless swinging, they're kind of leaving themselves open for repercussions. They seem to be very open.
So they're attacking recklessly?
They would be attacking recklessly, correct. Var. You're kind of lower down as a dwarf, so you wouldn't really have to step into Drung Square. You could just kind of like peek. So can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not actually in Drunk Square. You're just kind of peeking down there. You don't think you can get, even though you have reach, you don't think you can get your half down there to attack. If you do try to make an attack with reach, you would have disadvantage because of the ceiling.
Oh, I'm just going to throw myself down the stairs and tackle one of these guys.
Okay. Do you want to tackle the one on the north side or the one on the south side?
This one, the south.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check, and I'll go ahead and contest. All right. So you push him back 5 feet and kind of burrow into him, or are you trying to knock him prone?
We both land prone. I just want to tackle him and bring him to the ground.
Okay. So you charge in, smash into him, and he falls prone into that space.
Yep.
Into your space. You're both in the same space. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So dwarf missile. Pockets, you're up. It looks like the dwarf is kind of rocketed down through the steps between you and Drung, slammed into this guy and brought him low. You have advantage on either of them because they're swinging wildly, and also one's prone. So feel free to act accordingly. But you also know that you could walk over him. It wouldn't be a problem too if you wanted to free some space up.
Okay, cool. And what does Bardic Inspiration do for me again?
When you make an attack roll, you can roll a d8 in addition to the attack roll before the results are determined, and add the result of the d6, and add it to the actual roll. So if you rolled like a 13 and you're like, I don't know if that's going to hit, I'm going to add this inspiration. You roll the dice, you get the bonus. And then Melek is a lore bard, right?
Yep. So I could do cutting words, but
Right.
I already gave it to him. So
Right. So again, yeah, no problem there. I was going to say if he's Valor, there's other bonuses, but he's not that. So
Okay. Cool. So, yeah, I'll hop over to here to free up some space for the bard to come. And since it just seems.
Oh, by the way,
appropriate-
it's a one ability check, one attack roll, or a saving throw. So if they like try to make you a fish person, you could fight it better.
yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty much any d20 roll. Yeah.
And how long does it last?
10 minutes.
Okay, cool. I might save that in case we run into something. And so I'm gonna go with the stabby.
Good choice.
And
No hit.
and I get sneak attack. Does this work? That's pathetic. And yeah, that's it. And as a bonus action, can I second wind?
Yeah. You have you have that ability to do so. Sure.
Sweet.
Okay. Trung. Confused by the sheer just speed of it all. He doesn't really have a shield out, so his armor class would have actually been lower. He's going to go ahead and actually he probably would have had a shield on, to be real. So he'll draw a flesh rend. He'll attack with it with one hand. Okay, 18 will hit. And that's it for Drung, yeah. He's not going to go into a rage because I'm not expending resources and Chris is slowly getting in. That'll be it for Drung. Mel, it does look like a space is freed up in front of you. Dwarf missiles and pockets dashing aside. So you step forward, right?
Yeah, I don't want to be like next to him yet, but like, where is it? So I could see things, but not actually be in range.
Well, hold on a second. I think I need to change the rules. You just did a no for me.
Oh, I'm
Can't.
sorry.
It's okay.
Actually,
You can't
I'm a
move to
bard.
the wall.
I did it on purpose.
So you want to kind of step in and kind of hold yourself back beside Drung and not kind of cross over Drung. I'll allow that. You're still technically adjacent for the purposes of range attacks, but you aren't really the focus of his attention. Is that fair?
Okay, I'll take it. I see. Is that the bad boy that we're fighting?
Correct.
Well,
There's also a guy kind of in a dog pile underneath
Right
Stabby
here.
McStaverton and
Okay.
the dwarf. Yeah.
you know what? I'll stay here. I'm gonna decide to use my schmancy new rapier.
Oh yeah, that hits.
And I yell from a book I read, "On guard, you uncouth barbarian!"
He bleeds a little bit. His eyes are kind of just like I said, glazed over. It doesn't look like he's really focused on the fact that he just got stabbed. A lesser man would feel pain. It's very similar in kind to the crowns that you might have seen. That said, Berserker Town. I'm going to go ahead and beat up Chris because he's not here to defend himself. And that's the way I like it.
That's always the best policy.
That'll hit for not so much. All right, and then the one that's on the ground with the dwarf is actually going to attempt to try and seize the dwarf and wrestle him in a grapple. So I'm going to make a strength athletics check because I'm making a grapple attack against you. I have advantage for this. So go ahead and make your athletics or acrobatics your choice. I got a 20. You got a 20. You are setting the difficulty class with your contest, so I hit yours. So
Right.
you threw him down to the ground with your charge. He kind of grabs onto your cloak and then kind of pulls you in towards him, grabbing at beard and ear and holding you close to him. All right. That is him. It does look like, to those outside of the fight, though, it looks like he's moving in to bite the dwarf's head or ear. Like, just savagery. Varn.
Headbutt.
All right, go ahead and make. You're proficient with your unarmed attack, so strength, proficient attack.
I don't have an unarmed attack listed.
That's sad. But just go ahead and you should be able to just go ahead. The damage is 1 plus your strength 1. Well, just roll an attack with your halberd if it's not magical. We'll use its bonus. It's the same thing, and then the damage will be 1 plus your strength modifier, which is what you rolled. So that worked out. If you don't have multiple attacks, right?
I do not yet. No. I'm
Okay.
only level 3.
You blast your forehead into his teeth. Looks like he loses one. Blood kind of trickling down from his jaw and chin. Okay. Any movement? As a part of a move, you can attempt to remove yourself from a grapple, athletics, or acrobatics.
No, I'm going to headbutt this dude to death.
Got it. Smart move. All right. And pockets.
So does it appear that I still have advantage on attacks against the guy currently being grappled?
Yeah, he hasn't gotten up. Basically, they're still wrestling on the ground, and every time he gets blasted in the face with a head, or they kind of shuffle about, you have an opening. So yeah.
Wonderful. Time to stabby McStab stab.
That'll hit. Sneak attack. Okay. That seems to wound him pretty good. He's still not bloodied. And he's still not really terribly put off. His mouth is still kind of held open though, in bitey form. It's really weird to look at him too because it's kind of unnatural. All right, Drunks can't pass up a good thing. Sees that you guys are going ham on this other guy, so he kind of steps in between Melek and this other guy. And then goes for the guy who's prone. Chris, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
All right, big failure. Please unmute yourself. Why aren't you talking?
The kids are being extremely loud.
Okay. So push to talk. That's the way you should do it.
That's the way you should do it.
You should mute yourself. I don't want to hear your terrible kids. Okay, so
Right.
if nothing else, Eli, just know that your kid is way cooler than his kids.
I that already, but still, ouch.
The burns. Okay, then it would go to Mel.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm going to go and insult. Actually, I'm going to stab the guy on the ground because, that's the way we do it.
Yep.
Stabby McStab stab.
That'll hit.
Alright. And that's it.
When you stab into him, you kind of catch him in the upper body, kind of the pectoral, and he starts to bleed a lot. And as he does so, he slams his teeth down hard, and you can actually see a bit of his tongue fly out of his mouth and blood start raining out of his mouth. As you watch that happen, Varn, you kind of probably your stomach, despite being iron lined, kind of turns as he's basically spitting his own tongue out, kind of at you in your cloak.
John, his jaw is above my eye line.
Oh, so it's Splash City. Like, welcome to Bloodtown.
John,
Okay.
was that a ranged missile attack that he did with his tongue?
Magic Tungle. Yeah.
So
That's
somehow
what
it wheels around and hits me.
what he's going to do at this point is everybody who's kind of on top of him, you see his muscles start to kind of like pulse with veins, and you can kind of see them kind of growing purple in color. He lifts his arms up, and there's a bit of a strength there that you weren't seeing before, Varn, and he's going to try and slam your head into the stone corner that you're kind of close to. Go ahead and make an athletics check opposed by his athletics. He, of course, has advantage at this stage because he's still doing so recklessly. And sorry, hold on a second.
Good luck to him. Varn's made out of stone.
So it's just, we'll say that it totally does it, like, but it doesn't matter. Oh! Ah!
I lol.
So
Can I use that bardic inspiration?
it's not on you, is it? I thought it was on Pockets. It's on Pockets. You're taking a meager. This will be a total of 6 points of bludgeoning damage as he cracks your head into the stone. But he seems to be possessed with this supernatural strength, but he also seems to be bleeding out of his mouth very quickly.
How much damage, Sean?
You take 6. Oh, he moved. There. All right. The other berserker will swing its axe at Drung again, doing so with recklessness. It's going to hit for 9. And you're not raging, by the way. And that's it for him. Varn.
Varn's going to do the same to him. First, we'll.
You can't do it to yourself.
No,
Other than
it's inspire others. God damn it. And it's a bonus action. You should be inspiring us all.
No, because you don't have that many. But are you going to bardic inspiration somebody?
Just smash me.
Just okay. All right. So make an athletics check versus me. You try and smash his face, and he resists. It looks like he is pretty much solely planted. Kind of his arms are down, his knees are on the ground, and he's kind of over you in like a wrestling stance. Like he pretty much has the advantage at this point.
Can I roll a cutting words against this athletics check?
Against my guy's athletics check? You sure
Yes.
can. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Okay.
This is how we do it.
Mel says, you look like a donkey or something, to basically kind of catch the thing off guard, and it kind of looks at him with just the same stoic face, but it's just enough to kind of force his stance forward, and you pull his face into the stone right next to your face. Smash. You deal 1 plus your strength modifier, which is 4, so 5 damage.
Yep.
You're welcome.
All right. Pockets.
Does it look like I still have an opening on this guy?
Sure do.
Awesome.
Oh, and John, I'm going to stand. Because like he's on his knees, right? So if I stand up,
Yeah.
eye to eye again.
Yeah, he's not standing. I mean, he's not really on his knees. He's still prone technically. So yeah, you could stand and kind of still be over him a little bit. Yeah, it's fine. Go ahead, Pockets. Make your attack.
It's a 19. That means I crit.
Yep. So go ahead, and I'm gonna have to fix that on your character sheet. That's the thing we can do. Go ahead and your maximum damage. Your dice here is a D4, right?
Yes.
So you're adding 4 because crit dice are maximized for the weapon, and then roll sneak attack, and roll it twice.
Awesome.
So 14, 18 damage. Okay. Varn, as you smash his head into the ground, you see, as you're kind of like, standing up over him, you see Pockets insert the stiletto in the back base of his skull, pull the blade out, and the guy kind of just slumps onto the ground.
So he kind of placed the knife there between the stone while I was going to push his head in again.
No, as his face kind of hit the stone, Pockets put the dagger right behind his head and basically nailed him to the stone for just a second, and then pulled the blade away.
So he didn't hit and bounce into the knife. It's just kind of.
Hello? Hello.
So, Chris, are you alive or are you a real boy?
Yeah, I'm a real boy.
I'm going to go ahead and not have your character sheet up anymore. What are you doing? This guy's still in front of you. He's not bloody.
I'm gonna hit him. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. You're wielding it one-handed with the shield up, so.
Okay, go, okay? I need bafoots.
I clicked it, so let's see if it. I don't know. It might take a minute.
Guys, 1 second. My landlord sent someone here to check out the apartment. Just play for me till I get back, okay?
You got it.
Oh, hey. Did I kill it?
No. But you definitely put a hurt on it. You cut into his gut.
Wait.
Oh, 7 plus 7 for the vicious part. He's still standing, but even more hurt. He kind of keels over and kind of looks up at you with hate. And as he does so, he kind of bites down, and you can see that his tongue flares out of his mouth, and the purple liquid that was present in his mouth starts to kind of foam harder, and it looks like it's mixing with the blood, kind of making an almost like dark pink or like a magenta color, kind of Pepto-Bismol dripping out of his mouth. It's gross, dude. It's gross. Okay. No movement, obviously. Mel will stab him with a rapier. He has advantage on the attack, so that's a crit. And I don't have him set right, so that would be 9 plus 8. So 17, and that'll kill him.
Awesome.
All right. He flourishes the rapier in as you kind of back away from this scary sight, stabs him right in like the side of the face, and you can see it kind of slip into his skull as he drops to the ground. All right. That was quick. Ish. Took a little while, I guess. 900 divided by 4 is a number. I'm going to figure it out. 225 is the experience you would have gotten for that combat. All right. Looks like the passageway continues on. It looks like it forks into a T, northway and a southway passage.
I move to the edge and sort of peer. Basically, the idea is that I'm moving up the pier left and right to see if there's anyone there.
Sure. There's a musty smell that kind of pervades this long, dimly lit hallway. The smell is very familiar to you, and it would be to Drung as well. The place where they were making the liquid pain, it kind of smells like that, but it smells like a more concentrated form of it, like possibly a smoke or something to that effect that's kind of lingering in this place. To the north, to your left, you would see what looks like a passageway to the right, kind of off to the right, and then there's a pass to the south. Looks like there's 2, maybe 3 passageways that kind of go in the same direction that your entrance was there.
Okay, so I get the impression that this way may just be additional entrances from up top.
Perhaps.
Okay. I just step back in real quick, and
It looks like the other entrances may be to the right, but we could go down to check to make sure. There might be more guards. But I reckon maybe we should try make a left here and an immediate right and follow down there. It smells like the where they made the drug at the other location.
Everyone stares at you confused, apparently.
Follow me.
Varn reaches down, grabs his halberd, and starts walking off with a loud clanging noise.
Okay. Stop. Go back 1 space. That would be Tim. Yep.
okay. One more.
No, where you're, it's fine.
Okay. An arrow comes flying out of the darkness.
Make a charisma saving throw.
And I want to add my bardic inspiration.
Go ahead and roll a d6, yeah.
Hey.
Just enough. You step on that that space, and as you do, you see a symbol kind of just trace out against the ground in a very hurried, almost Disney-like fashion. Lights kind of sparkling up from it, and this kind of purplish energy kind of fills everything that you can see and the hall behind you. No one having come up behind you, fortunately. But you get this very strange sense of hopelessness that kind of just overwhelms you for a moment. And you kind of close your eyes and just focus in on yourself.
Okay, back. What happened? What I miss?
So you stabbed the last berserker in the face and killed it with a sweet crit because you had advantage on the attack roll. And then they moved forward, and he just stepped on a symbol trap, symbol of hopelessness, which activated. Nobody was close enough to be affected besides him, and he passed his save.
Thanks to your words of encouragement.
You're welcome. I told you look good today.
And that is just resonating within me as the fight back the hopelessness of how sexy I look right now.
All right. So it looks like the hall continues on for a while, and it looks like it cuts. It looks like it continues on for a while. Well, past what you can see. The other thing you would have noted, or you would have missed, Eli, is that when you come out of the passage, there's a passageway to the north and a passageway to the south. The way to the south seems to have multiple kind of entrances into the hallway for the same direction that you're coming from, as if there are multiple entrances into this place. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Pockets decided to, yeah, like 4 of them. Pockets decided to go north, stepped on the trap. So if you move forward, you'll see he's off to the north side there.
We should watch our step. It seems the hallway may be trapped.
And is it possible to, as we proceed down this hallway, to search for traps?
Yeah, perfectly fine. So whoever your lead is, if you want them to be the searcher, just let me know who that is, and that person needs to make an investigation check.
Is that going to be me? I don't want it to be me because, well, my hit points suck, but...
The smartest one of the lot of you would probably be, to be completely 100, the Tiefling Bard.
Morons.
You ain't wrong.
Well, look at it this way. If someone tries to shoot you with an arrow, you don't have to worry about it because I'll be right behind you.
Wait. Hold on, real quick question. What is your intelligence modifier?
Me?
Yeah.
+2.
Hold on.
But I also have proficiency in investigation.
Fair. But if they added all their intelligence modifiers together, they would still have -1 less, or negative. So 2. They have a -1. So what is that? A 3 difference? They dumb. Wait, Varn. What is your intelligence? Oh, sorry, no. They have a -3 total.
Who has advantage on top saves?
No one.
Yeah, no one.
Okay, so Drung is going first because if he happens to trip on it, he takes less damage and he has more health points.
Yeah, danger sense, so I have advantage on the trap saves as long as they're dex, I think.
That and he's a meat shield. That's what meat shields are for. That's why I keep them around.
Drunk, you go first, and go ahead and make an investigation check for me. I know it's not going to be terribly good, but we'll go ahead and say that Malik is helping you. I guess.
Walls.
So you have advantage, so it's a 12. It ain't bad. Still not good enough. Go ahead and move down the passageway as far as you would go. Just keep going. Let me know when you stop, or I'll tell you when to. Keep on keeping on.
Move,
And
you demon-blooded git.
Everybody's moving behind him, right? You guys aren't letting him just wander off.
Yeah. Are you going to move us or are we going to move? I don't want to mess up your phone.
Oh, no. You go ahead. As long as you're not
Varn's
moving
covering the
through
rear.
walls. That was the only reason I was moving you before.
Actually, I'm not going to be second. Very happy being in there.
He's keeping at least 5 feet distant to keep the rear. That way, when all of y'all fall into
Chris,
a pit,
I told you to
Varn will close
stop.
it
All the way back at the corner, back up that way. Please go back. What the heck? Stop in the corner. All
All
right.
the drops and we all die.
Is that about how you would be positioned?
I would be 10 feet from him, or like, yes.
Yeah, I think this is about right.
Okay. Everybody needs to make a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh, what?
Charisma saving throw, yes.
Oh, sweet. Got this.
Hey!
Everyone charisma saves?
Everyone's within 30 feet of it, yeah.
Aw.
Okay.
My charming good looks.
Drung. Because of distance, you'll have advantage, Varn, so you're good. So Drung's the only one that's affected. You get this shattering, just overwhelming despair that kind of starts to fill you. During this duration, which is about a minute, you just feel really bad and just hopeless. You cannot target any creature with harmful abilities, spells, or other magical effects.
Okay. Do I see this happening?
Oh yeah, you would see it burst. Purple light kind of fills the chamber, and he kind of looks down, and his eyes are widening, and he just looks terrified.
Okay, I walk up to him. I cast. Where is it? Woohoo! I'm going to make what you call it. The sound, make my eyes like glowy, like try as angelic looking as I can, and try to like calm him down by like trying to be like the guardian angel look as best I can, trying to calm him, relax him. Fine, everything's gonna be okay. There's nothing to worry about. I got you, dude. Kind of thing.
Make a persuasion check. So the term "make myself look as angelic as possible" is kind of a hard one for a demon spawn such as yourself. So as you kind of stare at him with glowing eyes, Drunk, you're even more afraid, especially of him. And about a minute later passes as you're kind of quaking in fear in the corner. The whole thing just leaves from you, and you feel this confusion afterwards.
Yes, sir. Someone else can try.
Drunk, are you okay, Drunk? You're beautiful, Drunk. You're a handsome person. Do you feel better yet?
Do you continue to the south?
Yeah.
Go on,
After all that shenanigans.
head that way until you get to a corner.
Maybe at the corner. Don't. Let me take a look at it when we get there. Maybe I can do something to not have the purple smoke.
So once you get there, Drunk, go ahead and make an investigation check. We'll say you have advantage at this point because you kind of know where it's at. Yeah, you're pretty sure this one doesn't seem to have anything in it that you can see.
Can I check all before you guys step?
Yeah, go ahead and give it a shot. Bandwagon up. Throw a dice. This one will be without advantage, though, because it's kind of a second attempt.
All right.
But yeah. So, pretty good. Yeah, you would see the glyph is present. If someone were to step there, it would probably activate the same fashion. You're not sure how you would deactivate it. It doesn't seem to be doing anything more than stalling you.
I say, guys, step back. I'm gonna try something.
Well, I got some tools I can maybe try to.
Did he say it looks like a pressure plate?
No, it's like a glyph that's kind of drawn out onto the ground.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have nothing for that.
Okay, I'll back up.
All right. Drung, you too?
Varn, make a wisdom perception check while this is going on with advantage, or with double your proficiency. Make a stone cutting check.
Stone cutting is a history check.
Yeah, go ahead and make that.
That's at 9.
You are obviously the worst dwarf. You have no idea what's going on.
All right. Everyone needs to back up some more.
Perfect.
1 second. My spells kind of froze. Let's see what this is. Okay. I'm going to be at the edge of it, the 30 feet, whatever that is. Okay, I'm going to use my mage hand to try to, rub the glyph out of it. I don't know if that works, but I'm going to try.
Okay. So go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
Okay, coming right up. Oh, wrong one. There you go.
Kind of using fluttering of the hand, you kind of start to move specific portions of it, and by the time you're done, you kind of have you haven't triggered it, but you have a feeling that it's deactivated.
Okay, I think I got it, guys.
Think you got it?
Do you go test it?
I'll go test it. No, I'll test it. Go back. You guys suck.
So the point of the matter is you get to it, you step on it, it's deactivated. You broke this the symbol, so you're good. And the thing that Varn didn't recognize, if you guys continue on down this passageway, is that you're on a circuit. You are wrapping right back around, it would seem, back the way you came, just on a different side of the circuit. So as you continue on, you see another corner there. For brevity's sake, You perform the mage hand, shake away the glyph, and are able to move past it. Doesn't take too terribly much time. But you come back around to that long hallway, that same long hallway that you were at before.
I move up to here and try to peer around the corner.
Okay. All right. Mel, if you're looking past two pockets as you're walking past the other two, you see two very similar looking dudes to the berserkers that you saw in the first chamber, but they're not facing in your direction. They're facing towards the stairs. Pockets, as you come around the corner in this other chamber, you see that there's this kind of swell of air that's kind of pulling inwards and distorting what you're seeing. It looks like some form of just wild portal. And kind of above it are two large gargoyle-looking things, stone creatures with bat wings and just feral looks, looking in the direction that you are in, but they're immobile and they're just kind of decorational.
Vaughn, dwarves are good with stone, right? There's some stone-looking beasties here. Care to take a look? See if it's any trouble?
Well, I would.
But
There's a demon-blooded bastard in my way.
You don't have to be right there. Just you can look around the corner. It's fine. Just make a history check.
All right.
A stone cutting check. So you're pretty sure, just based on the nature, the way that these things are not a part of the wall, and the like, that these are very much likely to be what are known as gargoyles, sentient creatures that can take the shape of stone and are pretty voracious fighters.
Oh yeah, those are rock chickens.
what?
Rock.
Rock chickens.
Is it something we're
Chickens.
gonna have to fight, or can we bypass them without incident?
Oh no, they're super tasty. You just got to get the right seasonings. They're real easy. Just walk up to them and pet them right.
Feel free to go ahead. We'll follow you.
But John, here's something. Does Varn know what gargoyles are?
Yeah, you would know exactly what gargoyles are. That's correct.
Then yeah, no, these are definitely crazy beasts. We'll want to deal with them before they get to grips with us.
So, how do you suggest we go about doing that? Just start attacking it right quick, and hopefully we take them out swiftly?
Collapsing the building on top of it would work.
But what about the little swirl behind them?
Oh, I have no idea what that is.
While I'm telling Ian something, make a perception check, Pockets. Ian, the things that you would know about gargoyles: they resist non-magical weaponry unless they're adamantine. They are immune to poisons. They can't become exhausted, petrified unless they choose to, or poisoned, the trait poisoned. They're pretty voracious fighters, as I mentioned before. They typically will attack with claws and with a bite attack, a chomp, if you will. With that perception check, you would know that if you rush past and get to that portal, you could probably get to it before anything that human speed-wise, could get to you, because they're about 10 feet up.
Oh, they have to hop down to get. Thought they were flanking it like the entryway, so you have to pass them.
No, they're
actually okay. That changes a bit.
They kind of form like an archway.
Yeah.
I think if we move fast enough, we might be able to dodge underneath them and dive into the portal, though There'll be no going back, sort of. We're stuck with whatever we find.
Are you guys rushing it?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be very amenable to negotiation, are they? Because I could talk to them about rocks.
So one more time, are you guys rushing it, or are you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm rushing.
Pockets and Varner in the lead, and then Mel, Drung, you're rushing behind, right?
I guess so.
So what I'll need from Drung and from Mel, real quick, is just make me a dexterity saving throw.
Woohoo!
Chris, dex saving throw. Also, stop having kids.
How many does he have?
I don't know. I think it's 2 or 3. I don't.
Good for him. Kids are awesome.
Yeah. Chris Edwards. Okay, so he's not there, so I'm going to go ahead and roll it for him. To hell with him. Actually, 100% correct. Mel, you get past, but what you see, the thing that caused you to make the check, is that the gargoyles drop. Basically, once Varn and Pocket start to kind of dart, and they cut you and Drung off, but you manage to kind of slip past and kind of nimbly get through without being blocked by their wings. Drung does not. With that, you have 2 options. You have 2 options, just you. You can either lean forward and touch the portal and go in, or you can stay behind with the gargoyles and Drum. The other 2 don't have that choice.
So basically, my choice is to save my pretty old behind, or stay with the meat out here.
Yep.
I'm going to stand right by the portal, but not go in just yet.
Okay. All right. You are close enough to it that as a free action, taken at any point during your turn, you can basically just through. Okay. So that said, the 2 of you appear on the other side, kind of walking through. And as you kind of walk through, you see 2 very strange looking creatures, greenish skin that looks pochmarked and just filthy. Their hair is bright purple, and their eyes are kind of dead like the other ones, but it seems that there's like a redness ringing around the whites of their eyes. They look strung out, to be 100%. And as you kind of walk through, they're kind of looking at you. One of them kind of tries to lean in and touch Varn, and they say, "Are you here to see her?" You can react as you'd like.
Yes. Lead the way.
Good, good. She seeks out more. She seeks out more. As these guys start to lead you where you're going, to the other people. Go ahead and roll initiative.
You already know that I'm going to coup de grace these guys, right?
Just Mel and Drung, yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
I have the best initiative.
Yeah.
You did it. Yeah. I won't need an initiative from Pockets and Barn. You basically, unless you're going to straight fight them, because they are leading you. They don't seem to be hostile. If you're going to just try and surprise fight them, that's a different story. But again, it looks like they're leading you to where you need to go unhostily. Mel, it looks like the two gargoyles are prepared to kind of shred into Drung.
Okay. So let me move my turn order thing. Okay. This big boy right here.
Mhm.
I'm going to whisper sweet nothings into his ear.
So, wisdom saving throw.
Ah, god damn it.
On a failed save, on a successful half. Okay, go ahead and roll some dice.
God.
Wow.
The worst spell ever.
So it deals 1 point of damage. And again, as a free action, at any point during this turn, seeing how horrible you've done, you can just touch the portal and go away. Leaving that out for you.
I know.
Still no?
Nope.
Okay, all right. It does look like it turns. You have its attention, though. Just a heads up. Last offer.
It's a free action. I can do it at any time. So if he starts to go toward me, I can pop in.
During your turn, not during this. Like you have to do it as if it were like on your turn. You can't action surge on not your turn. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of free action.
Okay. Then I will. But okay, they don't seem to pay much attention to me.
No, the one that you just whispered at is looking at you.
Okay.
All right. Pockets not doing anything hostile. Are you staying with them?
I'm following Varn's lead, so whatever Varn does, I do as well.
Got it. The gargoyles will attack accordingly. One on Mel, one on Drung. The first one will be against Mel. So 10 points of damage.
Okay.
And then against Drung, that'd be 7 points of damage. Are you here, Chris? Apparently not.
I was here.
No, I'm here.
Okay. So you took 7. I already took it off your character token. Cool. It's your up. What happened, what you missed, if you didn't hear, you tried to rush past the gargoyles. You failed to do so, and Mel, in the kindness of his heart, has stayed behind to assist you. But he could leave at any time.
You owe me, big guy.
What are you doing? Yeah, he owes you. Just like, this might be just like getting even with yourself, though, because you did like turn into glowing eyes demon man to try and help him out of his fear.
Can I try to force my way past them?
You can attempt to bull rush them, yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
So go ahead and make a strength athletics check. All right. When it attempts to block, it will have advantage when doing so. Okay, it fails. So you can push it 5 feet. All right. Its wings kind of tap against the portal, but very curiously for you, Melek, it does not zip into the portal like the others did.
Huh.
All right. Drung, you are not close enough to touch it yet. There's still kind of a thing impeding you there, and you can only push 5 feet. That's your action. No bonus actions or anything, right?
No, not right now.
Okay. Varn.
Actually, do we know what's going on the other side of the portal?
No.
Okay.
You would have no idea what's going on the other side.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
you're close enough.
What's going on over there?
You're close enough to the portal that you realize that if you spend your action kind of looking into the portal, you can kind of make out what's going on because it's like a twisting spiral. But what it's actually, it's like a bunch of weird colors and and the like, but you're sure that it's kind of representational of what might be on the other side. Does that make sense?
So it's like I'm on an acid trip.
Yeah, and if you were to focus on it and look at it for a little bit, you might be able to make out what it is. It's like one of those puzzle or those pictures where if you look at it long enough, it looks like a cat. It looked like a bunch of confetti before. Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
two people trying to like take my insides to the outside, so I'm really not going to focus on that right now.
You bet. Varn, are you going ham on these guys, or are you just going to follow them?
I'm gonna wait until we get a couple of steps out, then annihilate.
Well, again, it looks like they're leading you to whoever the boss is. So one of them stays behind, and one of them leads. So if you're following him, that would be the way you go.
Right, like that. Cool.
Yeah. And Pockets, are you doing likewise?
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage. All right. When you strike it, you realize that it has a strange resilience to your attack. And as it kind of turns back, its eyes start to flare with malevolence. You're kind of familiar with undead, and you would kind of realize that this happens to be one. All right. So they will go ahead and roll initiative now that they're combatants. Nothing I like more than a two-fronted combat. All right. Mel, again, it is you, my friend.
All right. This guy again. I'm going to try to whisper sweet nothings into his ear because he's not taking my advances, and it bothers me. Same thing.
That'll fail.
Woohoo! So let's roll the damage.
John, you saw the other 11, right?
You make 2 attacks? How?
Action surge.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I want this dude down. I don't like two-fronted combat. John.
You hit him really hard. You hit him really hard. He is bleeding, but he's not dead.
Who's my guy or his guy?
My guy.
Your guy just hit pretty well, but he's not bleeding. I mean, he's a statue, so he'll run away.
Okay.
And that would have provoked opportunity attacks, I believe.
Yes, because he has to use his reaction to run. So opportunity attacks.
Drunk, if you'd like to swing, you can. Unless you're like hanging out with your family.
No.
Yeah,
might as well.
I miss with my rapier, and I say, "See ya," and I jump through.
Okay.
Look, I gave him an in. He can now walk in on his turn.
Okay, moving through. You're going to be moving in a direction. So pick like north, northwest, north. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming toward the west, so I figure I just keep on moving west.
West, you say? Okay. All right. Because of that, you will be running into this creature, and because you're attempting to enter its square, it'll make an attack against you. I won't give it an advantage because you're kind of seeing it come into fruition and going and kind of realizing your decision was a 4-1. But yeah, it's going to go ahead and make this attack. It misses.
Okay.
All right. And then you can bounce into one of the squares adjacent to it. That's not the portal square.
Like this one over here is good?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
All right. Pockets.
I'm assuming it's completely unreasonable to try and attack this one with a dagger, correct?
Yeah, you can throw a dagger at him. That's fine. If you want to throw it, or if you move in, you can attack in his square. But if you don't kill it, you'll have to back away, which will provoke unless you. Oh yeah, you don't have 2 levels of rogue. So yeah, it would provoke.
Yeah. All right.
Or you can help me with this guy over here. I'm your friendly neighborhood smart bard.
You said this one looks pretty damaged, though?
It's bloodied.
Okay, yeah. I'll move in. As I'm going to attack, I reach out with my buckler to try and, bash its feet to knock it prone.
Okay. Athletics.
Yes.
And for shove, I can acrobatics or athletics against it, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh!
But it's not a saving throw, it's an ability check.
It doesn't have proficiency in either. It's still a natural 20 roll. So yeah, it kind of steps into it and kind of. I've done that 3 times tonight. It's pretty great. But yeah, go ahead and take an attack.
All right. Sadly, I won't have my advantage now. All right, and I shall do. Where's my thingy? I have a thing.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll do this thing. Wait, precision attack shouldn't be damage. It should be.
No,
I add 3 to my attack roll. So I got an 18.
When you make a weapon attack roll against a creature, you can expend 1 superiority die. Okay, I got it. And you have an ally adjacent to it, so sneak attack damage as well.
Nice. So 12 damage total.
So that's pretty good, but it's not going to kill it.
And then we shall do this. And do this.
Action surge, attack again, hit, and drop. You impale its chest well enough, it starts to bleed out on the ground. Its blood looks putrid, old, and sickly, and it lays there on the ground before you. You can now back away freely. You've moved 5 feet, so you still have a few feet of movement there.
And I'll move here to help out the bard.
Okay. Kind of try to interject yourself between him and him. It does look like the white or this weird creature does kind of have like a mad look for the tiefling. But yeah. All right. Then the gargoyle gonna smash on some of this drunk kid. Bite. Miss and claw. Miss. They might be whites. Drung. Unless you're ordering a pizza, having family time, or some other nonsense.
I'm going into the border, Brett.
Hearts. So you see the gargoyle in front of you. You can move past it. Once you do so, you're entering the portal, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me if you're moving north, northwest, northeast. Nobody speak. East, south. Which direction are you coming out of the portal?
Go purple.
I said shut up.
West.
Perfect. So you walk into the white, and it's going to go ahead and make an attack against you.
Oh shit!
Take 6 product damage and make a Constitution saving throw. That'll succeed. So you take 6 points of necrotic damage. And then you can deject away from it so long as you're in a square adjacent to it and not in a portal square. Perfect. You still have an action?
Quick question. The white already went. The white has a turn since I bumped into it?
Yeah, they life drained before you bumped into it, I think. Hold on.
It has 2 reactions?
No, it hadn't gone before. You're right. I don't like going back, though. Just taking 6 points. Don't you take this from me. I'm a horrible DM. Don't take the 6 damage.
Okay.
But you still have an action.
And my bonus? Or did me going through the portal count as my bonus?
You still have your full itinerary.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna rage.
Okay. For a single white. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because why not? I'm sure there's other stuff.
I'm fine with that. You've been paying attention. Makes sense. Hit.
Take 12.
Yep. Anything else? No? Okay, cool.
No, that's
all right. Because I was fair, I'm going to go ahead and say I was fair, but what I'll do is say take that 6 damage now, but it's halved because you're raging. I'm just going to use the attack roll I made before.
fair enough.
And then I will make a second attack. These ones are spiffy, so it will make its attack against pockets. They have multi-attack.
Alright.
Pockets, here we go. That'll hit, take 8, con saving throw.
I was hoping it would miss so I could riposte.
Okay, so that 8 damage goes to your maximum hit point total. On the new sheets, you guys should see that underneath the hit points, there's a little plus minus.
Uh-huh.
Just put 8 in the minus section instead of 0.
Okay.
I don't think it augments your maximum, but just notate it.
Right. Cool.
All right. The other one's dead. Varn, you're up.
Yay for reach weapons.
Yeah, with your reach weapon, you can definitely swing through the portal at it if you'd like. Is that what you're going to do? Do me a favor and make me a dexterity ability check.
Ooh.
Your halberd goes into the portal and sucks through. I'll allow you the option to drop it and let it go, or go with it.
Oh no.
Go after it. You
Ian?
can still pop back out again.
Are you going with your halberd?
I'm going with it. It's a bad idea. I'm going with it. I'm not letting you do it.
Okay, so you have two options: northeast or southeast. Your choice.
Northeast.
Okay, and your movement is ended,
What are you talking?
so you cannot return. And the gargoyle is. Hold on. The gargoyle would have been here, is where it was last. Sorry, I moved it off the map because I was getting rid of its initiative. What was it on? Do you remember?
The gargoyle on.
It went one
Gargoyle
action
was
before me.
north of the portal, and there was another one that ran away.
Oh, right, that was the one that retreated. So yeah, I'll just put it on the initiative again. Just roll it now. We're restarting the round anyways.
Well, it was on 16, so.
That's fine. We'll just reroll. It's fine.
Or it
Ooh,
can go on 20, whatever.
All right, so then it'll go, and it flies back into the room and kind of tries to bar itself between Varn and the portal, and it's going to beat on him. Miss. Alec?
okay, this guy, I don't like this guy. I'm going to insult him and his mother and his grandmother while I'm at it.
He actually happens to be his own grandpa,
Wow.
but he succeeds. He doesn't understand the internal logic of your jokes because, again, he is his own grandfather.
You might be a redneck.
He might be a purple-haired. Okay. Any movement or bonus actions? You good?
I don't want to get hit again, so I'm good for now.
Okay. And pockets.
As I go to stab with my dagger, I lead with my shield. 2
Go ahead and
try
throw
to knock them prone.
Again, that'll work.
Nice. Alright, and
Attack.
stabby.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Oh, and it's another D4, because I crit.
It's another 4, actually, because again, crit max damage, so it's 11.
Nice.
Then sneak attack. And you roll it twice. Yep. Cool. Yeah, he's bloody. Drunk. This thing looks pretty wounded. You want to take it out for dinner in the movie?
Nah, just dinner, bro. I don't have enough money for a movie.
I was taking you out, Dunce. And I guess you've never been a date. Anyways, make your attack. You miss. Oh wait, it's prone. You hit. I'll kill it. You still have movement, and you're still raging.
You want to go through the portal and help Varn?
Yeah, I'll do that.
So you have
like
one option to go, so that's your location.
Okay. And that'd be it.
Cool deal. All right. We'll go to the whites are dead. Varn,
All right.
you can walk past it and touch the portal if you want.
I'm going to push this gargoyle through the portal with me.
It cannot go through the portal. This was already witnessed.
Oh.
Yeah, the stone creature cannot go through the portal.
Bye.
Okay. It doesn't matter where you land, so I just put you in a square.
I just step out right back where I was.
The gargoyle was going to go for a dwarf, and now I was like, oh, hey, it's you again. So you'll be taking 12, so half is 6. Actually, half round up, so that would be 4 and 3, so 7. Round against the player, because I hate players. Alright, that's... Mel, you're still technically in combat, but there's really nothing to fight, so I'm just going to skip you. Is that cool?
I really don't want to go through that portal again, because I've done it. I'm good.
Yeah, it was a fun experience, but no. Pockets, same.
I just try to say, should we just leave Drug there or go help him?
And Drung, what do you do on your turn? Do you fight it or do you leave it? You're raging.
Nah, I'm gonna fight it as soon as I get my character sheet full.
Okay, wasting my time. Who suggested he go through the portal to fight the thing? Damn it.
I would just forget it. I'm going through the portal.
Okay, cool.
Because I can't get it to pull up.
Okay, you're because you're not attacking this turn, your rage would end. Cool deal. And was it a frenzy or just regular rage?
Just regular.
Okay. Cool. Let me go ahead and tell you a number for you to write down. $575 for that fight.
Hey, ding.
Slowpoke.
You think you're so cool.
I know.
Well, the whites were actually slightly augmented, so they could have been something different. But yeah, the challenge rating was the same. Shut up. Instead of having long swords, they can just make 2 life drain attacks a turn. It's the only difference, because easier that way. Those things don't look like they're drawing swords anyways. Okay, so heading south or heading east?
I think we should take a couple of minutes here.
Short rests are an hour.
They are? I thought they were
Yeah.
10 minutes. They're an hour?
They were
Jesus.
10 minutes in 4th edition. They are 1 hour in this game.
They're an hour in regular 5th edition, too.
No, 4th edition. They were
4th
10 minutes.
edition, they were 10 minutes. All right, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
As I pass
As
over
a-
this body, does it
there's
look like there's
Yeah,
anything of...
light.
It looks like they have. They both have satchels on their belts.
Ooh, let's check out the satchels.
I rummage through the satchels.
Sure. Opening them, you would see that there's 3 vials of a purplish liquid. You would know the contents being liquid pain.
Okay. That's each?
Yeah, total of 6 vials of that.
6, 5.
Okay,
Just
I have an
whatever you
idea.
do,
Let's hold
don't
on.
destroy these.
Oh, wait, quick question.
Sell
Quick
them.
question. How does someone take liquid pain?
What's that?
How does someone take liquid pain?
So there's 3 methods. You can imbibe it like a potion. You can smoke it, and the third of which is you can inject it like a poison.
Okay, and what's the side effects of liquid pain?
Make an Arcana check to see if you can figure out how liquid pain works.
Arcana check. Oh, wait, doesn't it help that I was there for the last one?
No, not at all. Because again, you didn't really do any research on the matter since then. You know that it is a drug and it augments the person's sensibilities from what you experienced with the creatures before, the berserkers, when they took it. It seems to augment their notion of how pain works.
Okay, so it's not really worth using it as a poison on our blades or throwing it in someone's face.
Right.
Okay, smash it too.
I throw him at the corner over here.
Okay.
Smash
I throw them through the portal.
They don't. Unattended objects and stone creatures do not travel through the portal.
Wait, so the
Unless-
halberd, if you like, wouldn't have gone through.
I asked him what he wanted to do with it. So, yeah.
Oh, you're such a dick. I love it.
But anywho's, yeah. Anybody else want to do any kind of researching on the pain before you guys continue moving on?
Oh, sure. I'll do some quick research on it. What do I have to roll?
Well, no, you did it.
Oh.
You failed. So you guys continue on. You would see that there's another portal at the end of this passageway.
Let's go
Are there
check.
any gargoyles?
None.
Let's go see what's around the corner and all that fun jazz.
Okay. So it looks like there's more berserkers over in the corner, but they're all facing away from you, Varn, as you approach. They look like they're facing towards possibly another entrance, and they're focused on it. From what you remember of the ones that you've dealt with at first, and from what you've been told, they asked for something with a hand gesture, and when they didn't receive that, whatever it was, they shrieked out in pain, and they fought you.
It's a shame we smashed those vials, huh?
Right?
Okay.
Portal?
Wait. Before we go through, let's go back around the other way. You remember the portal we came with? Could also go east. Let's go see if we could see something that way. Maybe we could sneak up behind them and like shove knives in the back of their heads or something.
So no. They're basically, if you go up around and make the circuit, what you're intending, you'd be walking up to their faces. You're currently behind them.
Oh, so they're here, not here.
Right. Yeah. If you want to step forward to the 2 squares above Barn, you can see the whole room. It'd be fine.
They're facing that one.
They're facing towards the other passageway on the left side, and it looks like they're intently focused on it. So even if you walked up to that point right there, they don't seem to be noticing you at all.
Okay.
I'm gonna,
Do you want the EXP or do you want to just keep going?
well, either way, I would like Drung and Pockets both to make an intelligence check.
Oh God.
I'm reloading roll 20. It froze on me.
This is gonna
Chris,
end
you have been
so
a burden all night.
Bad computer.
I love you.
Love you.
I have an idea, but it involves getting rid of one skin of brandy, one flask of brandy. I'm very loath to do so.
Okay, simple method. We'll say that they're both like putting their brains together, and we'll give Pockets advantage. Pockets, you remember that if the crowns are removed from the creatures, they're no longer commanded. They're no longer controlled. These guys seem to be wearing helmets. Helmets that look like they could be easily lifted off the top of their heads.
You might be able to avoid a fight if you take the helmets off their heads. But I'll let you decide what you want to do with that information.
To your eye, Malik, you probably determined that the weight of said helmet might be 2 or 3 pounds.
Oh, that's not so bad. Well, how does taking the helmet off make him nice?
So, according to Pockets, he's saying that he's experienced creatures like that were commanded like this before, and they wore iron crowns. And while they were wearing those crowns, they were fighting against them. But when the crowns were removed, they were just peasantry. They weren't fighters at all.
Okay, so why don't we have our very sneaky rogue, with his old sleight of hand ability, start taking crowns off?
Pockets, do you want to give that a try?
Taking off the helmets.
Yeah.
Well, if do we have to get close? I'm not feeling too well as it was right now.
Pockets, one more time with the intelligence check.
Hey.
Do you remember the whole ritual when Melek used a weird spectral hand to brush away the arcane glyphs?
Oh yeah.
And you think that might be able to do it?
Okay, I do that.
So you mage hand, move it behind the helm, lift it from the back because it kind of has like a splaying kind of back neck guard, and kind of just lift it up, and it spills out over the head of the person. The second it does,
So it's like
eyes.
It's like a salad, then, right?
Yeah, it is actually it is a salad. Exactly right. Once it flips over the head, though, it kind of hits the ground. So the person's eyes kind of roll into their head, and they just kind of buckle and hit the ground, and immediately kind of start breathing heavily. But they appear to be unconscious, possibly like sent into a state of shock or sleep.
Okay, do the other two.
They all are unconscious.
Cool.
All
Good
right.
idea.
Wait.
They appear to be. Varn, go ahead and make me a charisma check.
Shouldn't I make charisma checks?
It's specifically for him because he's been in town for a long time.
Oh, to recognize it.
Yeah.
Have they gone missing, like kidnapped, or have they gone missing as in drug addicts?
So you're pretty sure that the 3 people that you're kind of looking at here appear to be members of the mining group for Haverhill's mine. You recognize them during your kind of forays with Stenin, and you remember seeing a couple of these individuals kind of with him when he came up to the keep so long ago, back at the beginning of the month of Adar, when he was joining the Lord's cause to help protect the town.
All right.
They just look like miners.
Definitely
Burly dudes.
take the
and
helmets
given-
away from.
Okay. You would notice that the inside of the helm, kind of around where it would rest upon the head, there does appear to be a forged iron bramble that's kind of set inside of them. Okay. To the portal.
Wait, before we go, is there anything like useful on these guys that we could like maybe use?
Hey,
They have great axes.
hey, we don't rob Hilton citizens.
Well, from what you can tell, it looks like they were put into uniforms. It doesn't look like they actually have their own attire. Miners wouldn't have this kind of gladiatorial armor. Between the lot of them, you presume you could compile a suit of half-plate armor. And then there's 3 great axes. And then 3 helms, of course.
No, I just throw the
They have
helms.
keys, but okay. Not gonna rob anybody.
So Varn takes some time to kind of put the helmets in the corner and kind of splinter them, rending the crown inside in 2. And you guys head back towards the portal. And of course, lawful meets slightly neutral, possibly chaotic, in the most funniest ways. Don't rob people. I wasn't going to rob people. I wanted to rob people. Who goes in first?
No, he has no problem with you robbing people, just not people from Hilton.
Who goes in first?
Boop.
You spill out into a room. When you enter into the room, you see smoke. Lots and lots of smoke. The room seems to be filled with it. In the corners of this room are hooded creatures with beaks kind of extending out of their hoods and black eyes kind of looking up at you as you appear into it. As you kind of manifest out of the
Pissed
portal.
off looking Kenku.
Agreed. As you kind of manifest into the room, though, they don't show like malice, hate, fear, or anything like that. They actually start clucking their beaks, and you can hear kind of laughter coming from them. In the corner that isn't filled with a Kenku, you see a woman with a snake kind of circling around her, pale, just skin just as white as marble. And she has another gentleman, a human person, in her grasp. It appears that she's kissing at his neck, but as she kind of looks up towards you as you enter into the room with a smile, you can see that her lips are bright red. A small trickle of blood is tracing down her chin. It looks like the man's eyes are rolled into the back of his head. His skin is also pale, but not so much in an unnatural way as hers is, in a slightly less than alive kind of state. She looks at you and she says, "Are you here for Black Flume?" "He's not here anymore." And she kind of just starts chuckling. Do me a favor and make me a Constitution saving throw. This is technically against a poison, so if you have any benefits for that, go ahead.
Advantage against it and resistance to poison damage.
Sure. There will be no damage, but yeah. Con saving throw. You're good. But it seems that a lesser person than you might be affected by the smoke in the room. That said, when you enter into the portal kind of shuts for a second, but you can see it kind of like slowly growing again. She's kind of looking at you, and she says what she says. And she says, "What are you here for?"
Wait, so the smoke, is it coming from braziers in the room at all?
It looks like they, the Kenku in the corners, have strange smoking devices with long hoses kind of put to their mouths. They're kind of cradled over it, so the smoke that's coming off of the top and the smoke that's coming from the hoses seems to be entering into them and like kind of breathing out and away from them. Hookahs, basically.
But there's no, can I see coals or embers?
Sitting on top of them, yeah, on the bowl on top, and then not terribly much in that department. Nothing that's going to radically change the nature of a fight, but it looks like the liquid that's bubbling inside as they kind of draw from the hoses is kind of a purplish color. So is the haze, on second thought. Okay. She says, what brings you here? And just as she's kind of finishing that sentence and you kind of retort or do something, that'll be about when the portal activates enough for someone to step through. Who's next?
Me.
Okay. So Ian, respond as you would.
It's, do you mind if I have a drink? And I reach for my wineskin.
As you're kind of reaching for your wineskin, she kind of grabs the guy that she's been vamping off of, kind of throws him out towards you with an unnatural strength. Sure. It would seem that she's offering that dead guy. And then Pockets appears. There's a dying or dead guy at your feet, a strange girl with a snake on her body in the corner, and 3 really high Kenku in the corners.
Hello. We're here to see black plumes.
Make me a Constitution saving throw. And she says, "Oh, but he's gone." And okay.
I'm hired.
So a couple of effects. All right. Just notate these if you become affected. So long as you're in the effect, this will persist, and you'll have an intense feeling of pleasure for roll a d4. For 1 hour.
Okay.
Okay. You'll have advantage on charisma checks, and you have resistance to any non-magical damage.
That sounds awesome.
Alright.
Okay.
There's no bad side?
Not for the initial effect, no.
Oh, but once I come off the high. Ooh,
Once
fun.
you start actually becoming high, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. At about that point, you guys can feel free to do as you please, weapon-wise or what have you. Who would be next stepping through?
Big guy, you want to go?
Is Chris Edwards a real boy? He's not even in the chat anymore. Yeah, he's not even here. He just left. He didn't say nothing. Ooh, do you want to go first, or do you want me to send Drung first?
I definitely want to send the meat shield first.
Deal. He goes through. And about this point, she's kind of like rising up and preparing herself for dealing with these interlopers. She says, "You can leave, or you can die."
Can I go through?
This is during that turn that Drunk came through, so they're basically going to determine whether we're fighting or not during that round or not. So you guys, she says you can leave or you can die.
Well, if you wouldn't mind telling us perhaps where we can find the other production facilities of the liquid pain, we would be so obliged.
Stalling for time. Okay. She says there was just the one who's been taken out. We're using what resources we have to continue the party. You appear in the room.
All right. Quick question. This snake lady, is she look human or is she look beyond?
She looks human, but she looks undead.
Undead. Okay. And there's the Kenku here, and basically the only people here who don't have dark vision are the Kenku, maybe the lady, and Pockets.
Right.
Pockets has dark vision.
Oh. How convenient.
Everybody has dark vision, except the dying guy on the ground.
Because he's dead. His vision is dark.
He has some.
Yeah,
his vision.
It is dark.
Oh, that was good.
Because I thought Kenku didn't have dark vision.
Yeah, well, maybe they're not Kenku. Do you ever think about that?
Maybe they're not. So she's already shut down the manufacturing of liquid pain.
No, she says so the manufacturing was taken out. I think we took out the manufacturing facility.
Yeah. Pockets was trying to fish for more information to see if there was others. And so she alluded to that someone took it out, not knowing it was us. And that they're trying to start production again somewhere.
Kind of looks at you and she smiles. You said you were looking for Black Plume. Do you wish to join him? Or do you wish to leave?
Maybe,
Oh, Mel, sorry. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Damn, I
Because
thought people forget.
that dank smoke. Welcome to
Yes.
advantage on charisma saving throws. Or, charisma checks. Charisma checks, not saving throws. Just charisma checks. Intense pleasure for 1d4 hours.
Should I roll the 1d4?
Yes, please.
I feel good.
Yeah, for a while. All right. Okay. That said, hold on. I forgot to roll for drug. He's good. And he should be able to be fine for a while. That said, she says, do you wish to join him or do you wish to leave?
and I reply, well,
I
we
step
might be
in.
willing to join up, and help out. I hear y'all's working with the flesh thief.
I step in. Quiet, simpleton. I got this. I go to the lady. Says, "Look, we were sent. We're trying to figure out what's going on with production. The production is stopped. I need an update. Give me the update."
And as you're saying that and trying to sound super serious and focused, you kind of lean in and are doing that. The snake kind of winds up towards you and kind of starts looking at you with its weird eyes. And she kind of turns and looks at you and she says, back to Pockets, I don't need any assistance. I don't need any friends. If you want to be my servants, you can be. Otherwise, leave. You meet Black Plume's fate or you leave.
I turned to her and said, "I'm not here to be your servant. I'm here for an update. Don't diminish me like that."
She grins, and as she does so, stuff starts to get kind of wonky for those who failed their saving throws. Make another one. Pockets.
As you were saying that too, Pockets sort of tries to give Varna a look
God
like, let's
damn
do
it.
this.
You kind of get this strange sensation that Kenku over there in the corner
This one?
looks cuddly. Yeah, this one, right next to you, looks cuddly as hell, and the pillows that he's sitting on look comfortable. You are compelled to fall asleep near him because you are so.
I want to go to sleep next to him.
You
I
are
am
so
going to sleep next to him.
You are so tired. You must sleep. You can sleep on the pillows or you can sleep on the floor. It's your choice.
I'm gonna go sleep on pillows.
All right. He goes, hangs out with the Kenku and starts kind of passing out with a big, just goofy grin on his face. The Kenku seems to be chill and kind of starts stroking his hair. Varn, you kind of walk over there to check out and you douse the Kenku with alcohol. And
I
throw
doused the chick.
Oh, okay. Okay, real quick. You throw alcohol at her. I'm gonna go ahead
No,
and say
I douse her. I have a skin with brandy.
I get you. I'm just saying, she's not an immobile thing that you can just splash attack. She's actually really fast, so she's gonna go ahead and yeah. Your proficiency bonus is a plus 2, right?
2.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that as you're kind of moving at her with the intent to do that, it's very obvious, and she kind of has this supernatural motion where she moves to here instead. She seems to blur to that position. The alcohol hits where she was.
Okay.
Yep. And Pockets, you feel kind of tired, drowsy, exhausted. Do you get my meaning? So what? One level of exhaustion for you, my friend, but you feel really good. That said, okay, so Varn, you grab the embers, but you're kind of confused that the first portion of your plan didn't go through as you expected, and it was really literally blink of an eye kind of motion. She moved supernaturally fast. Roll initiative.
All of us.
Yeah,
I'm
sir.
asleep.
Yeah, even if you are asleep, please do so. Yeah.
All right. Oh, now I get a good roll.
So you guys are so just into that sleeping, bruh. It's where it's at. It's where it's at. All right. You're first, but you're kind of still in it. Do me a favor and make me a wisdom saving throw.
Not better.
You are totally okay with this sleeping thing for now. Every round you'll gain the opportunity to do so. If you kind of rouse yourself from it, you'll be fighting with a level of exhaustion. And also your, one level of exhaustion. Okay. It goes to her. She is annoyed, to say the least. She will move to there. She does so in kind of a blur of motion. The smoke seems to kind of trace with her as she does so. Like where she was standing, there's still no smoke when she gets to the new position. Does that make sense?
It is like a smoke shield.
But she's standing in a position that could not be filled with smoke, and she's moving so fast through the smoke that the position she's leaving is still empty of smoke and fills in with smoke after she leaves it.
That's cool.
She attacks against pockets and clashes against your shield with her claws. As you notice, like she comes in with the attack, she has very long black nails, which didn't look as feral before, but now seem to have kind of a viciousness to them. She will.
So she had advantage on that?
You're exhausted. I don't get advantage against you. You just have disadvantage.
No, it's just a disadvantage on ability checks, not anything else.
Yeah,
No, but she missed me then.
Yeah, she missed you. She hit your shield. She clasped your shield. That's what it said. Oh, there. So
do I hit?
You make it. Yeah, that'll hit.
So 15 damage.
Is this it is a magical weapon. Okay, cool. It hurts. It causes her to kind of draw back and swing in again. So she'll hit you back for 10.
Ouch.
And you are grabbed. During your turns in the future, as a part of your movement, you can attempt to escape. The DC of which is 13.
Okay.
Oh, she's a vampire.
She might be a vampire. All right. Drung will hit it. He's gonna rage first though, because whatever. And he's gonna attack recklessly. Okay. So, yep. That's 10, 12 points of damage. Nice. And then it'll go to pockets.
All right. And do I have disadvantage to attack if I'm grappled by her?
No.
Okay.
Just means you can't move. Like,
I'm just gonna stabby then.
Okay, missed. She kind of batters it away with her claw hands. Now that you're kind of tangled together. All right. I'm sorry. At the beginning of your turn, I needed you to make a Constitution saving throw because you're affected.
All right.
Okay. So you are going to go ahead and hit stage 2 of exhaustion, which is the highest level you can get. If you fail another highest level you can get from this effect, if you fail another saving throw while in this state, you're going to go ahead and go join Mel on the pillows.
Okay.
It's so comfy.
But yeah, he fumbled, so he jumped right ahead to the problems.
How did I fumble? I fumbled twice. It was bad.
You did really bad. In fact, it might have repercussions after this fight, but we'll see. Varn, go ahead and take your turn.
Right. I'm going to smash with halberd.
Go for it. Hit.
And then I'm going to draw a hand axe.
When you hit with the halberd, by the way, and smash into it, it doesn't look like it pierces the flesh. It looks like it reddens it slightly, but it doesn't look like it pierces the flesh.
That's why it's an axe. It's for chopping wood.
Right.
I will hack her down.
Well, you attacked with the halberd, which is a two-handed weapon. You cannot bonus action make an attack with the hand axe.
I'm not.
Cool.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm drawing it because I can't draw 2 weapons in one turn.
Gotcha. Sexy. Mel, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Come on, wake up!
Yes.
Yeah, but you can operate during this turn, but you are technically under the effects of 2 levels of exhaustion.
That's what happens to. I get disadvantage on attack rolls.
No, that's at stage 3.
So what happens?
Stage 2, your speed is halved, and you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay, so as I wake up from my stupor, I realize this smoke is very, very bad. I cast Thaumaturgy, and I douse all the fire that's causing the smoke.
Okay. Perfectly acceptable. So you put out the hookahs. Upon doing so, you can see that the creatures that are kind of at them, the one that already had the coals were kind of pushed away already. It looks like they're kind of looking at them annoyed. All right. Any movement, you're lying down.
I want to stand up.
Okay. It'll go to her. The smoke is still present, kind of lingering. She's going to go ahead and... Who am I going to eat? I'm going to eat Pocket some more, because I've got him grappled.
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
So that'll miss. She tries to kind of move in and kind of get on your neck. She can't seem to do so. You kind of bash her face away and then stab at her in the face with the dagger.
No!
Roll a 20-sided dice. Perfect.
Wait, did I just do roll 20 or d20?
Oh, no, that's, yeah, rolling 20. You didn't roll a 20-sided dice. Roll a d20.
There we go.
Okay, so what happens is you kind of elbow her with the shoulder that you're kind of being grappled on as she tries to bite at your neck and push her head back, and then you kind of thrust your dagger in towards her face. She turns slightly and bites down on your dagger's blade with her teeth. You're kind of like wrestling it away, and she kind of pulls her head to the side, taking your dagger and throwing it across the room. It lands here.
Alright. That makes me sad.
And you can attempt to remove yourself from the grapple.
It's still her turn. Riposte is an off-turn action.
Oh, right. I'm dumb. That's a big dagger.
Jesus.
She'll go ahead and claw you, because multi-attack, but she can only bite once. That'll hit for 9. And then it's drawn. And it's been, 2 rounds, right? Since the start, or no, 3 or 4 for him. 2 or 3, whatever. It's a minute before people who saved on their initial have to attempt again while staying in the smoke. He's going to go ham. Smash. That'll hit for 11. And then as a bonus action. So 23.
Nice.
She's not okay with this. Not okay with it at all. Okay. Pockets.
Oh man,
Con saving throw. Sorry.
this. I mean, yeah, that's gonna. Hey, I finally succeeded.
Yep.
Quiet, you.
Still exhausted, but yeah.
What am I gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna try and disengage from her grapple.
Okay. So make an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice. 13 is the target number for her grapple, so miss.
Yep. Yep, that's my turn.
You still have you still have an attack, but you don't have a weapon.
Well, I mean, I have many weapons on my body, but I'm assuming that roll
Attempt it.
precludes drawing something.
No, it's a part of your movement to attempt to escape.
Okay.
You could draw a dagger and attack her with it. It's fine.
Okay, we're gonna go with. I think none of my daggers are actually. Oh no, this one is. I draw Lucille and miss.
Masterwork. Okay. Yep. Tharn.
Right. With the halberd, I kind of lean it toward the Kenku and say, "Hold this," and let go of it.
It hits
Draw my second
him.
hand axe.
If it was held above him or kind of batters against him, it knocks over the hookah, spilling liquid all over the ground, and he kind of looks like super just annoyed.
And then hand axe to her.
Mm-hmm. Miss.
Then
Bonus action attack with the second one.
bonus action. Hey, Pockets, you look like you need to
Get some heals.
Hey.
Mel, go ahead and make a wisdom. And you're fine. You're holding yourself up, and you can't go further down. You are really tired though. What would you like to do?
How bad does she look?
She's not bloodied. It looks like some of her wounds are stitching back over.
Okay. I'm gonna implant a suggestion in her mind.
won't work.
What do you mean won't work? Illusion? She's immune to illusion?
No, she's not immune to anything. What's the actual DC?
It should be 8 plus 2 plus 13.
And let's see. The initial save is an intelligence saving throw. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't have. Ooh!
Wow.
Whoa!
On a
Take
failed
that,
save,
take that.
you create the phantasmal object. And you said, what were you making?
I'm gonna have molten hot iron chains like lashing around her, trying to like pull her to the ground. Basically, I'm gonna go full on BDSM on this bitch.
Okay. Molten chains are kind of grasping at her is what the effect is. So she feels like she's kind of
Restrained.
entangled. Okay.
John, you want to look at the last sentence of that first paragraph?
The target receives the damages of type appropriate to the illusion. Yeah, I see that.
First paragraph. First paragraph.
Oh. Spell has no effect on undead or constructs.
Oh god damn it!
Okay. So you kind of manifest it, and she kind of just ignores it because she's an undead. Cool. I'll let you go back and cast something else if you'd like.
Okay.
I did the same thing the other night, so it's okay.
One second.
Just
you know
quick
what?
rule of thumb.
I would
if it-
call it.
If it doesn't bleed, don't use illusions on it.
Let him
Okay.
talk to it.
I'm kind of under the haze. I'm a little bit angry. I'm not thinking straight. I'm gonna still cast it anyway.
All right.
That's fine. And it'll go to her. She will. I'm gonna eat this fucking this guy. Failure.
Hey, let's see. I have one
Sure is.
more superiority die.
She's gonna with her, but go ahead and smash me. Do it. So that'll hit, and then 9 plus 5 is 14, half to 7.
And sneak attack. So 13,
You
18.
realize that the last time you cut into her, the wound is no longer there. So you kind of are stabbing at that same location and kind of reopen the wound, but not as fiercely as you did with the stiletto. She will make an attack with her hand back behind her and slash at Drung. She'll hit half damage. Because he's in frenzy. Alright. Drung will go ham. I wasn't kidding. So
Wow.
9 plus so it'd be 8 plus 7. Why does it say 14 for the crit?
Savage attacks.
Oh, right. So then it would actually be 9 plus 14 plus 7 because of the vicious trait, because he doesn't have that added in. So 9, 23, 30 for the first attack.
Jeez.
32 for the first attack, and 15
on my
for the
side.
second. He rips her in half. Legitimately rips her in half. With the first attack, he puts enough cut into her to leave little more than a couple of inches holding her together, and then his second attack, he burrows it down in a different angle and causes her to fall in half.
Woohoo! My spell distracted her sleepiness. Tired.
It's deceased. Its regeneration doesn't work like I'd initially thought. After a couple of seconds there, the smoke does start to clear. And you manage to kind of groggily get yourself up. The Kenku are just sitting there. Varn, make a history check. Not anything special, just regular history check.
Barn.
You would know the laws enough to understand that the Kenkus did not attack you, so murdering them is probably illegal, and they are drug users and possibly involved in drug trafficking. They need to be brought before the magistrate. And
Sean, why would I attack them? This Kenku was kind enough to hold my halberd for me.
Yeah, actually, in a weird kind of just fashion, as the smoke's kind of clearing, he kind of holds your halberd up and kind of hands it back to you, and you're thinking oh, what a guy! But then he looks like he's starting to try and get his hookah back up together and working. In which case, you take him and you guys move on with them.
No. You're coming with us. Come on, up. We're going.
You have the purple juice, and as he's kind of getting up.
No more purple juice for you.
As he's getting up and his robes are kind of opening up, he kind of starts pulling something out of his robes, and you realize it looks like it's a body part.
What?
It looks like it's an arm of a Kenku. He's kind of handing it to you.
Is there some sort of history check I can make to see if that's a cultural thing? Really?
Oh, it's certainly not a cultural thing.
I think these guys are high and ghouls.
He looks at you and he says, "Black Plume," and he hands you this arm. It's probably from just above the elbow, the hand of a Kenku. As you're kind of starting imprisoning the other ones, as you go over pick up Selena and the you realize that they're holding. One of them's holding what looks like a bloody skull of a Kenku, and the other one seems to be holding another hand. Looks like they have the body parts of another Kenku.
This Kenku over here?
No. From what you would imagine the case being from the dialogue that you had as you kind of think about it, she said, do you want to become like Black Plume or do you want to leave? So it would seem that
This is Black.
these guys, their drunken state,
Was
or
this
their
actually Lucille?
No. That's the thing he named his dagger. The Kenku would tell you, like, he answers. Her name is Segolia. She's one of the maiden vessels.
Huh?
She serves him, the one. Investigating her will yield 3 things. She has a crown that appears to be quite nice. She has a pair of braziers, which also seem to be quite nice. And she has a scroll cache inside of which you find a couple of letters. Most of them have been kind of like the ink has been kind of melded into the paper to a point where it's bled into the page. It's hardly legible, and the language looks strange. But you notice
many languages. Do I know it?
I'm looking at your sheet, and I know you don't.
Okay.
It's definitely
When we get back, I can pass the ritual and figure it out because I don't want to do it here.
For certain. The language in question is vampiric, and the letters, once you kind of get to them, are basically conversations about transportation of the volume and people, it would seem, trading people for ingredients. And it would seem that the signature on the bottom is very similar to letters that Drung, I believe, has seen. Varn, you've probably seen 1 or 2 of these, but it seems that these are signed by the Flesh Thief.
All right. Is this guy still alive, or is he bled out?
Make a medicine check.
Medicine check?
Yes, sir. He's dead. Okay. So
I will take her stuff and carry it with me as we're getting these 3 Kenku out of here.
So just winding down.
And taking her head with us.
You guys exit the place, and you manage to go behind all of the berserkers that are guarding the doors, slip their crowns off, and get them unconscious. Once they kind of come...
the crowns.
Of course.
I destroy those things in place.
Once they come to, you realize that they're all minors, and they kind of, say that they'll answer any questions that they need to with the magistrate. You take the Kenku.
How old are they? They might not all be minors.
They're all get out of my life. I
had to have the one pun, John. I had to have it.
It's fine. Magistrate Mercer is not present. He's currently not in the town of Hilton.
Is Magistrate Mercer's first name Matt?
No. His first name is Mercer. His last name starts with a V. Let me look it up. Hold on.
I don't really care. I was just trying to make a bad joke.
Fair enough. I understand. And I love me a Matt Mercer. I wish I had that hair. Anywho.
I wish I had hair.
I wish I had his hair. My hair is long and such, but it's... Anyways. The letters don't yield much information. They just note that she is in league with the Flesh Thief, and also she was called by the Kenku one of the maiden vessels, which is not a term you've heard before. It's definitely a newer one out there.
Is that a religious term?
It is not, but to those who have combated the Flesh Thief and fought some of his allies, you would note that a couple of times you've run afoul of wizardesses or sorceresses who were basically the leaders of other groups. So it would seem that these women happen to be like his direct students, perhaps, or something to that effect. That said, you identify the crown and you identify the bracers. The bracers are bracers of defense.
Nice.
Which, if you wear them while unarmored, they grant you a +2 to your AC. So they're as good as studded leather, but you don't have to wear nasty studded leather. And the crown... Sorry, 1 second. The crown was right there. Thought it was. Bear with me here. Oh my goodness. I hate my organization or lack thereof skills. So the crown itself doesn't appear to be the magical piece. At the center of the crown, there's kind of a strange charm made of bone, and it appears to be magical. The charm in question is called a Cherugian's charm, and after you kind of like fiddle around with it, what you find out is it's a wondrous item that whoever is holding it, whoever has it on their person, it doesn't require attunement, but whoever happens to be holding it, so long as they've held it for a turn, they have proficiency with the medicine skill. If they're already proficient with medicine, they gain a +2 bonus to any ability check that they would make that would use the medicine skill.
Cool.
Cherugian's charm. Surgeon's charm, basically. All right. Experience for the cap would be 675 per person. That's for all of the berserkers that you quote unquote defeated, and also for defeating her. Oh, sorry. Math. Her. 875.
You said 675 before?
So it would be a total of 875 plus 575 is for the night. Yeah, she's not. She's not.
So that's
Yeah,
1450 tonight.
Yeah.
Quick question. How much did you say before? Because I already added it in.
So 875 is the second amount. The first amount was 575.
Okay.
So you're just adding 875.
Okay. 875. So that's 25.
Is anyone taking the Trojan's charm?
If no one's going to take it, I'll take it. You know, it's free proficiency.
Okay, have it. Have at it.
It doesn't really help Pockets too much, and Pockets is already in debt. Pockets was hoping to find some gold.
You broke all the things that might be worth anything, but you know they wouldn't want them.
Right.
The iron crown? Yeah, no. You might be able to reforge the iron for something, but I mean, that's just weight. So,
Oh,
what?
no, yeah. No, it's also
iron?
it's the drugs that we destroyed.
Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been allowed to keep that stuff.
Oh no, Pockets wouldn't even try.
And does anybody want the bracers of defense?
I already
I'll
got
take
bracers.
them, but
My bracers are much better than bracer defense.
So you're giving them to Eli?
Have them.
Okay, so I no longer wear studded leather. I just have.
Nice.
Well, put on some pants, man.
Well, you made it out like a bandit this time around. You should have 2 magic item cards in your magic item handouts folder. It's in the handouts section at the bottom there. That said, it's in your journal. But that said, I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream. So you know where your character sheet's located?
Yeah.
It should say player characters PCs is one folder, and then beneath that it should say player handouts.
Oh, yeah.
If you open that up inside, you should see another folder that says magic items. And if you open that up inside, you'll have 2 handouts. It should be the charm, and it should be the it should say dark steel. I forget what they're called. Every magic item I have has a cool name. Dark mirror gauntlets, right? Which are a pair of bracers of defense.
I don't see it, but okay. I'm just gonna put bracers of defense and charm.
Yeah, in your character sheet. That's perfectly fine.
All right. Cool.
All right. Good night, kid.
Oh, and Chris says sorry he had to duck out real quick. Family
All right.
stuff.